In this video, I will show you how you can create these viral animal Olympic videos, and you don't have to rely on any platform's monetization policies, because now you can just monetize using digital products and brand sponsorships. So let's get right into the video. You can scroll down to the viral AI YouTube collection and then scroll down on the swimming pool Olympic section to download the workflow. And now you can click on download. After you have downloaded the template, click on these three dots and click on import from file. So here I have the template, viral swimming pool videos, and I'm going to open this. And now we can go ahead and configure this setup to generate the viral swimming pool videos. So if you have never set up OpenRouter, the first thing that you might need is to get the OpenRouter key. So click on create new credentials and head to this website, openrouter.ai, and then click on create API key, and then give it a name. It is going to return you with an API key, which you can copy and paste here. At the moment for this setup, I'm using DeepSeek. You can use any other model that you prefer. So let's run the first step, which is the script agent. I'm going to click on this play button, and then it's going to open this form for me. In this form, I can select the exact object or animal or any other thing that I want to jump into the swimming pool in the video. So I'll just say an elephant, right? So I'll just say elephant. And for the height of the jump pad, I'll just select 20 and then click on submit. This is going to trigger the script agent, which is going to consider everything that we just entered into the form and give us quite a few things. The first one is the image prompt. Then it's also going to give us the video prompt, the sound prompt, a title, and a caption. And now you can see that I have everything. And once we have the output, we can go ahead and save it into our Google Sheets so we can track everything. If you haven't configured Google Sheets yet, I'm going to attach the video right here, and the link will be in the description that you need to follow to get the Google credentials. And I will be sharing this document with you in the description. Once you have configured all these things, the first thing you need is title. So I'm going to take title from here and place it into here. Then I'll be taking the caption which it generated me, and then I will take all three prompts separated by commas. I'm going to add it with the prompt. And in the published section, I'm going to say not published, which I have here. So either it can be published or not published. So firstly, I'll just say not published. And at the end, as you can see here, I can just update it to published. So now I'm going to run this node and see all my data appear in Google Sheets. And now you can see I have the second output for me, which was Elephants Olympic Dye Spectacle, as you can see here. And then I have the caption, I have the prompts, and I also extended this publish and not published field so you don't have to manually fix the dropdowns. So just in case you come to the end of the list and you add something here, then it won't be this dropdown. And to fix that, just select on the existing dropdown and just pull it below. So now if you enter not published or published, it is going to select from either of these dropdowns rather than adding direct plain text. Now we can move on to generating our video. The first is to generate the image using the image gen model. And for the video model, I'll be using Minimax High 2. And for the sound model, I'll be using Audio V2. So in this entire pipeline, what we're doing is generating the image and fetching the image and feeding it to the video model, then fetching the video and feeding it to the sound model. Generally, generating the images and the sound does not take more than 30 seconds, but for the video model, I would recommend waiting at least 5 minutes. It can also happen earlier, so either you can have a polling setup, which just means you constantly check if it's there and you check with the status, or you can observe by running the workflow 1 or 2 times and wait that amount of time. And you can also add and just to be safe, you can also enable the retry on fail option here. So for some reason, if the service doesn't even generate the video in 5 minutes, it still doesn't fail. It just waits 5 more minutes and gets the video. So the workflow never breaks in production. Now to generate the image, video, and sounds and fetching them, what you need is an API key. So to configure the Fal API key, you have 2 options. The first is to manually send a header. So let me just make a new HTTP node to show you what I mean. So now you have this fresh HTTP node. Either you can manually send in headers. So if you go to Fal AI, what you'll notice is, suppose I want to use this model, VO3 pass, even though I don't want to use it, but I'll just show you for an example because it's the same. So if I go to the HTTP section here, and now you will see what I mean. So either you can send in the header as authorization and then key file. So sometimes what happens is people try to add the API keys and they will add authorization here, and then they will just add the key. So suppose your key is this random number, and they would just add this random number. And then they'll get a 401 error which shows that the key is wrong. That is because you also need to prefix with this key value. So the key would not just be your API key. It has to be key and then followed by a space, then the key. And the same goes if you're creating a header credential. So either you can use this method or you can use the more secure actual authorization method. And in the authentication, you can select generic credential type and then select header auth. And then you can select header auth. And then you can click here and create new credential. And the name would be exactly what the header value should be. If you just write anything like file key or API key, then it might not work. So the name should be authorization and the value should be key followed by the API key. So let me also make an API key just to show you what I mean. So I'll just come here in account and then click on API keys from here. And then I'll add a key and I'll just say API, the name would be test key. And now I'll create the key. And now I have this API key, which I'm going to copy from here. And even before adding it here, let me show you the exact demo. So I'll say key and then the API key. And now I can copy this and paste it here. And now if I save this, this is going to work. Now we have established how you can use Fal API key nodes in general. So the first thing you need is you have to send a post request to the Imagen3 model or the model of your choice. You can just look it up in Fal, whatever model you want to use. I'm using Imagen3 because it gives the best results. I have this header auth configured. I'm sending a body using this JSON. So the first parameter I need is the prompt, which I get from the script agent. I take the image prompt from here and drag it here. And then I also tell it the aspect ratio for the image and the number of images. And then I can execute it. If your authentication for Fal AI is configured properly, you can say that it's going to tell you the image is now in queue. And it also gives you the status and cancel URLs if you want to use it. So if you want to use the polling setup, as I was talking earlier, you can use the status URL and poll it on this URL. And now depending on the output you get, you can either move forward in the workflow or you can just keep polling it until you get it. After the wait is complete, which is about 10 seconds, I'm going to get the image now. To get the image, you need to query the queue.fal.1 URL and the exact image model with the request followed by the request ID, which you get from here. So now if I go to this URL in a new tab, then I'm able to see my image. So I have my elephant setting on the bevel panel. And if you remember correctly, when I gave it the first input, I entered 20. If I had entered 30, it might be on top. And if I entered 10, it might have created one more pad here and jumped from that. So now I can generate the video. And to generate the video, I'll be using Minimax model and the same authentication. But in the body, I'll send it the prompt, which I get from the script agent here in the first AI agent. And the image URL would be the exact URL, which I get from get images. So I can get that and add it here. Then I have the duration, and I'm also using the prompt optimizer. If the prompt optimizer is set to true, it takes your existing prompt and modifies it to a better one. And now I'm going to execute this step, and then I will also be waiting. So I'm back after 5 minutes, and now let's run this node, and it's going to fetch the image URL for us, which we can feed now in the audio model. So we have this URL, and you can also just copy this and check for yourself that the video is there. And there you go. So this is our video. So now I'm going to run the create sound node, and this should be fairly quick. This shouldn't take as long as the video. And now our video is in queue again to be added the audio on top of it, and then I'll run the wait. And now after the wait is complete, I can just get the sound. And there you go. I have my final video with the sound added on top. Let me show you. And it prompts me to download the video. I'm just going to click on open and quickly download it. And if you want the longer video, you can just come here in the videos and you can extend the duration, which is currently set to 6 seconds. And to post to social media, I personally use the free social media poster, which I shared with you a few days ago. And I'm going to attach that video in the description as well. Or either you can run any setup that you're currently running, Blotato or any other option. Either you're directly posting using the Graph APIs on Instagram and